Yo, what's up, guys? Somebody went today, man. I'll be doing my official 2025 NFL mock draft. We are over here on PFF.com. We're gonna go out and get into that. But first things first, right off the bat, do not take this mock draft too seriously. I'm not a big college football guy. I'm not an NFL draft scout. I'm just doing this based off vibes and clips that I've seen with certain players, things that I've personally heard, and also based on positional needs. For the first three picks, I basically know what I'm gonna do, and I'll make a separate video as well. I'll also include in this video as well me doing the Patriots pick as a Patriots fan. We have back-to-back years of having two top four picks. Last year, Drake May. This year, who knows? But as a player that we can go ahead and get, which will be very interesting to see. But yeah, I'm gonna fire up a stream and I'll get into the official 2025 NFL mock draft. All right, so the official 2025 NFL mock draft. Again, don't take this too seriously, but there we go. First overall pick. I've heard a lot of smoke. I think the odds-on betting favorite. Let me look at my other monitor real quick while I'm doing this. I'm pretty sure the odds-on betting favorite at minus 10,000. If this guy isn't the first overall pick, I will generally be shocked. So, in my opinion, the best quarterback in the NFL draft this year is Cam Ward. I like his dual threat abilities. For what I saw at Miami and a couple of clips I've seen, looks like he's the guy. Will Levis, Mr. Mayonnaise, the experiment is over. Only other quarterback they have in their roster currently, I believe, is like not really anything insane. Like Mason Rudolph went back to the Titans, so it's not really anything insane. It's like Tim Boyle and like Kyle Allen. So yeah, give me Cam Ward number one to the Tennessee Titans. All right, the second overall pick, the Cleveland Browns. I've heard a lot. I've heard like Abdul Carter. I've heard Travis Hunter, and potentially even Shedeur Sanders at quarterback as well. I mean, right now they're only quarterback. I mean, they have Deshaun Watson. They have Kenny Pickett on the roster. They obviously need a quarterback. They make like Jackson later in the draft, but I think they're gonna go defensively. The odds-on favorite on DraftKings for the number 2 overall pick is Travis Hunter, which would be cool, paired alongside Denzel Ward / maybe like a gadget wide receiver alongside Jerry Jeudy, who kind of like revitalized his career last season. I think he's gonna be like majority of his snaps are going to come at corner, but he's going to play some. He'll have a package offensively. So, I mean, Abdul Carter X Myles Garrett fresh off that bag, that would be tough as well. That would be kind of tough, you know. I'm going to go Travis Hunter, though. Travis Hunter, he's the best talent in this whole entire draft. It's just the Titans badly need a quarterback. They just badly need a quarterback, and I don't know. I'm really enticed by Cam Ward's tools for sure. Third overall pick, again, you heard a lot about Shedeur Sanders, but they just got Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson, so it's like, you know, how much quarterbacks can they really have on one roster currently? Seems like they're going to start Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston as the backup, even though for like fantasy football purposes, Jameis Winston, Malik Neighbors, match made in heaven, but this is a fantasy football at the end of the day, I guess. They have a couple of guys on the Giants. You know, they have Dexter Lawrence. They have Brian Burns. They just got Javon Holland at safety from the Dolphins. Do they go defense again? I mean, they can build a really solid defense for sure. They've spent a good amount of money. I think they go Abdul Carter. I think Shedeur Sanders is going to fall a solid amount in this draft class, I'll be honest. I like Shedeur, but I think he's going to fall a little bit in this draft class, to be quite frank. All right, so the Patriots have the 4th overall pick in the 2025 NFL draft. We're going to assume that both Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter are off the boards. If they're not, obviously you draft either one of them, but I think one or the other are going to go to either the Giants or they're going to go to the Browns, unfortunately. So, yeah. Now, I've heard so much. The only person I haven't heard at 4 for us to grab would be somebody like a quarterback, like a Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders. Everybody else I've heard a lot of. Recently, I've heard a lot of smoke about Jalen Walker out of Georgia. Now, I'm not a big college football guy, but I saw a clip today from Todd McShay talking about it's not really a big difference between Abdul Carter and Jalen Walker in Georgia. I'm like, huh? I haven't really heard too much about Jalen Walker, but I've heard a lot about Abdul Carter. Now, looking on DraftKings, the 4th overall pick right now, there is an abundance of players that the page can get. -110, the betting favorite right now is Will Campbell. Then there's Armand Membu out of Mizzou, another offensive lineman. Abdul Carter out of Penn State, +500. Mason Game out of Michigan, +1,000. And Jalen Walker at +1,200. There's also Travis Hunter at +1,300. And also Ashton Jeanty at +1,600. And also Ted McMillan at 3,000. Now, I just read off to you guys offensive linemen, defensive linemen, linebackers, corner/wide receiver, and also running back, and also wide receiver as well. There's so much the pages can do with these 4th overall pick. They went out and spent a lot of money defensively. So if they go defense here, I'll be mildly surprised. So I think they're gonna go overall and get a offensive player. But let me go ahead and fire up a stream and let me break down the Patriots 4th overall pick and what I personally would do, and what I also think the Patriots would ultimately do with the 4th overall pick in the 2025 NFL draft. 4th overall pick, the New England Patriots. Okay, here we are. New England Patriots 4th overall pick. We can go in a abundance of different ways. The odds-on betting favorite, like I mentioned, Will Campbell. Ideally, in the perfect world, we trade down, to get Will Campbell, because at 4 is kind of a bit rich, especially since he might play guard at the NFL level. But there's a bunch of different positions that we can go ahead and look at our needs according to PFF. Running back, the fact that we have Mondre on like a 4-year deal, I want to say, or like 3-year deal, $27 million, $9 million AAV, led the league in fumbles, didn't have a good YPC. I mean, he was behind an awful offensive line, but the fumbles, those were no excuses at all. It's tough. I mean, we can go Ted McMillan. We could go a guy like Mason Graham. We could obviously use another guy on a defensive line. With the wild card would be Ashton Jeanty. Again, we do need a running back, but yeah, superstar potential, superstar tools. But that might be a bit rich to go best player available when we have so many holes offensively, especially at the left tackle position, which would be hopefully like a guy like a Will Campbell, or maybe you get a guy in the 2nd round. We do have a high 2nd round pick and multiple thirds. Thank you to the Matthew Judon trade. So offensive lineman, you're looking at Will Campbell, you're looking at Armand Membu, and then maybe towards the 2nd round, there's guys like Ariante Ursery, like a guy like maybe like a Josh Simmons. Again, who really knows where these guys are gonna go? Just based off what I've heard, I think the 4th overall pick is going to be Will Campbell. Now, personally, would I draft Will Campbell with the 4th overall pick if I'm the New England Patriots? I probably decide between him and Armand Membu. I just feel like I've heard way too much smoke about Will Campbell this week that I just feel like he's going to be the guy. Again, in the ideal world, I would trade down here and draft probably one of the 2 offensive linemen here. But we're not making any trades today, so we're just gonna stand pat. They can use Ted McMillan, but he's not really the separator's 40 speed. God knows what his actual 40 speed was. I think they're gonna go out and get Will Campbell at number 4. I'll be honest. Do I love it? No. Do I hate it? Not necessarily. I think it's gonna be Will Campbell. I feel like we have to bite the bullet. Just pray that he can play left tackle at the NFL. 5th overall pick, the Jaguars. They could use a lot of help defensively. Be a clean shop. They got Liam Cohen at head coach. They hit a home run pick last year with Brian Thomas Jr. Tank Bigsby had a pretty good year. The defense was awful. Absolutely abysmal. It was god awful. Josh Simmons is solid. We could definitely use a guy like a Josh Simmons. They said the Patriots are going to draft another Mac Jones. Gotta stop, buddy. Yeah, we definitely need to get an offensive lineman. We could get one in the 2nd round. Like, again, in an ideal world, we would trade down from 4 to get an offensive lineman, but only team I can see like trading up would be like the Saints, like if they really want Shedeur. But I think Shedeur can fall to number 9. I don't see any of these teams going for Shedeur. Maybe the Raiders, but they just signed Geno Smith to a 2-year contract. I don't know if Shedeur's probably. I don't know if he will sit for 2 years behind Geno Smith, and that's including this season as well. So isn't Geno Smith currently on like a 3-year contract? I'm pretty sure. But Shedeur saying to go behind Geno Smith for 3 years, I don't know. Maybe probably wants to at least, at most, sit for like 1 year. So yeah, who knows? All right, number 5, Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars, they need a lot of help defensively. The odds-on favorite for the number 4 pick is Mason. Number 5 pick is Mason Graham at -140, and then it's Armand Membu. They can go offensive lineman. They lost. Not that they lost Cam Robinson, but they traded him to the Vikings, and then he signed with the. They traded him to the Vikings, and he signed with the Texans. Correct. I think they go Mason Graham. I'm gonna agree with the odds. I'm gonna say they go Mason Graham. I mean, they try to. Actually, no, that wasn't. I was about to say the Panthers try to pair up Derek Brown with Milton Williams, but we chimed in and got him. So yeah, I'll go Mason Graham. They need defense. Y'all need defense. What I really want to see is where I'm gonna get Tim McMillan to go to. The Raiders. Okay, the Raiders with the 6th overall pick. They need a running back, wide receiver, defensive lineman, and corner. I'm gonna say the Raiders go out. They go best player available. Best player available, in my opinion, right here. They had such a bad running back room last season. You gotta go and get Ashton Jeanty. Ashton Jeanty, you are a Las Vegas Raider. They need a quarterback for the future. They have Geno Smith for now. Get Jeanty. Go best player available. Get the best player, which just perfectly fits like a glove for your positional needs. Number 7. Okay, here is the Jets. The Jets have the 7th overall pick. The odds-on favorite for the Jets currently is Armand Membu. They could go offensive lineman. Oh, you know what I do like? I mean, PFF doesn't really have this as a need, but quarterback, wide receiver, tackle, defensive lineman, tight end. They lost their tight end Tyler Conklin during this free agency. They got Justin Fields currently. Devontae Adams is no longer a Jet. It's just Garrett Wilson there. They could use another wide receiver. This is a pretty deep class. So they can draft one on like day 2 or maybe even day 3 as well. I honestly want. This might be a little bit of a reach because you can go Tim McMillan here, or you can go Tyler Warren out of Penn State. They could use a tight end badly. Justin Fields had pretty good chemistry with Cole Kmet in Chicago. Yeah, I don't know what I have for the Jets either. They can really. I want to say they go tight end or they go Tim McMillan. I don't know. This one's tough. Or they can go offensive line. I mean, they got an offensive lineman last. They went offensive line last year, like they went offensive line last year. I want to say they go tight end. Is that insane if they go tight end at 7? Tyler Warren, you are a New York Jet. Okay, number 8. This would have been perfect, honestly, for what's his name, for Mason Graham, but I don't think he falls to number 8. Now, the Panthers, you guys need as much help as possible defensively. The Panthers defense last year was genuinely god-awful, so you guys need as much help as you possibly can get because, yeah, that was awful. That was genuinely terrible what I saw from the Panthers defense last season. So let's get into it. Defense. Would it be insane if they get somebody like a Jihad Campbell here? I've heard a lot about Mike Green as well, edge out of Marshall. Just trying to look to see if there's anybody that pops off the board for me currently. I've heard a good amount about Kenneth Grant as well. James Pierce, I heard a lot about him last season. Not too much about him this season. I believe Siobhan Ravelli tore something this season. Didn't play too much. So see how he bounces back up that injury. I've heard a good amount about Michael Williams as well. Jalen Walker is the guy. Okay, Jalen Walker. I know they have him mocked this late on PFF, but I've heard really good things about Jalen Walker recently. So I think he might sneak into the top 10, to be quite frank. I'll be honest. I'm going to go out of the box here. I'm going to say with the 8th overall pick, the Panthers go Jalen Walker. I mentioned him earlier at like 4. Jalen Walker out of Georgia. Heard some good things about him. Number 9. Okay, finally, this is where I think the Saints go future. This is where the Saints go future. They do need a wide receiver because Olave's has concussion problems. But they also do need a guy at the head of the snake. Derek Carr probably is entering his last season as a New Orleans Saint. So I think that this is where we finally see, Shedeur Sanders come off the board. Shedeur Sanders, you are a New Orleans Saint. You are the future at quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. Congratulations. Number 10, the Chicago Bears. This one perfect for Genty, but I think the Raiders are too perfect to switch up and not draft him. The Keys are running back. Probably draft one on day 2. This is a pretty deep running back class from what I've heard. They could use a defensive lineman, also a safety. I'm thinking of Mike Green, and I'm thinking of Malachi Starks. Which one would make more sense for the Bears at number 10? They could use an offense. No, they couldn't use an offensive line. They literally signed like damn near half of free agency offensive lineman. I think they're pretty good offensive lineman for now. I would have had them get a Will Campbell if he fell to 10 previously, though, for sure. Chicago Bears. No Genty. I don't think we'll see another running back drafted, at least not in the top 10. So I'm going to go out of the box. Let me help the Bears, Let me give them another edge rusher. I'll say they go out and they get Mike Green. How about that? Mike Green to the Chicago Bears. Heard a good amount about him. 49ers. This is interesting. So they traded Deebo Samuel away. They're trying to get an extension done with Brock Purdy. Traded away Jordan Mason. Could they go out and get another wide receiver? They got Ricky Pearsall last year out of Florida. They have Brandon Ayuk. They have Jawan Jennings. I think that's pretty fine for now. I mean, maybe you try to get like a wide receiver 2. Probably like Jawan Jennings more as a wide receiver 3. And then the verdict's still out on Ricky Pearsall. They could luck into getting somebody like a Terry McMillan. But I kind of really like Terry McMillan for the Cowboys at number 12. So I think I might hold Terry McMillan for a little bit. And let's see what happens with that. So at number 12 for the Cowboys, they could use Genty. They could definitely use that. Probably should draft one on day 2. But let's get into the 49ers first. So they could use some offensive linemen. They definitely lost a couple guys. Would this be perfect for them to get like a guy like an Armand Membu, an offensive lineman? Or would they go for somebody more, of a interior offensive lineman? Maybe they look at, I don't know. Who knows? Trying to see real quick. This is honestly tough. The 49ers, man, this is tough. Do they go a guy like a Kelvin Banks, or do they go a guy like an Armand Membu? I've heard a lot of takes that have Membu over Will Campbell. I feel like that'd be a pretty good fit. Armand Membu for the 49ers. Why not? All right, number 9. Number 12, the Cowboys. I feel like this is a really good CeeDee Lamb x Terry McMillan. Yeah. Seems pretty valid in my opinion. All right, number 13, the Miami Dolphins. With the news of, Teron Armstead, retiring a couple days ago, I think they probably go offensive line to start it off with. So let's go ahead and see who they would be probably interested in. Josh Simmons at Ohio State. Kelvin Banks. I think they'd probably go Kelvin Banks. So let's go Kelvin Banks for the Dolphins. Number 14, we have the Indianapolis Colts. Troll technical difficulties once again. We back. All right. Number 14 in the Indianapolis Colts. Don't know what I just heard. Indianapolis Colts. Another one of these teams I just have no idea what they're gonna do with their needs. Tight end, guards, edge, linebackers, safeties. God knows what the Colts are gonna do here. Let's look at a tight end real quick. I mean, they always have like a multitude of tight ends. They could go Colston Loveland, even though I really do like him for the Chargers with the Jim Harbaugh connection at Michigan. So I might just hold on to that. Who knows? They could also go edge as well, I guess. Donovan, James Pierce, my little reach right there for James Pierce. Would that be valid or would that not be valid? They could go Jahad Campbell too. I've been holding on to Jahad Campbell. But that'd be pretty valid right there. They go Malachi Starks at safety. I probably would go Jahad Campbell, to be honest. That'd be pretty valid, huh? Jahad Campbell at number 14, valid. Number 15, the Falcons. They could always use help defensively. Another wide receiver alongside Drake London. They could use a center. They did lose their center to the Bears. They can go edge, or they can go linebacker as well. Oh yeah, I still have Will Johnson here as well. Up to this point, I'm just going off based off vibes at this point. Falcons at number 15. Like I said, they could obviously use defense, but it's like, at this point, I don't know. They could maybe use another corner, like a Will Johnson alongside AJ Terrell. But they could use another wide receiver alongside Drake London. They always need help defensively, so it's like they could go in a bunch of different positions here. Honestly, I have no idea. I haven't really looked thoroughly at any like mocks to see where most people have the Falcons drafting. Just based off strictly vibes, I'm gonna go Will Johnson. I don't know if that's a good pick or not, but I'm gonna go Will Johnson. I've heard, isn't he like basically the best corner in this draft? Or like 1A, 1B with Travis. Number 16, the Cardinals. The Cardinals struggled defensively last season for sure. Their needs, guards, defensive lineman, and corner. Is this where Jaden Barron out of Texas goes? Or do they go maybe like a Kenneth Grant out of Michigan? Or do I take a little swing and go James Pierce to the Cardinals? Get them some edge rush help there. Or about Michael Williams out of Georgia. Could go to a multitude of weights here, to be quite frank. Who knows though? Who knows? Number 16, the Cardinals. Give me guard, defensive lineman, corner. Maybe that's a little too high for Kenneth Grant. Cornerback. Let's see. Let's look at corner. Jahdae Barron. Siobhan Ravel. Coming off that injury I heard, huh? This is where I take a reach and go James Pierce. I might just say fuck it. Take James Pierce here, to be honest. Hey. Might be a reach. Let's just go Jahdae Barron. I mean, who else would I eventually go with? Fuck it. We're gonna reach. Let's get James Pierce. James Pierce, you are a Cardinal. If this shit can load. Hello? Alright, James Pierce, round 2. You are a Arizona Cardinal. All right, number 17, the Cincinnati Bengals. They can use a lot of help defensively. All their picks right now, no troll, should all be defense. Their defense was god awful last year. Let's go defense for the Bengals. Defensive line, linebacker. Defensive line. They could go a guy like a Kenneth Grant. Linebacker wise, they could go a guy like a. I'm gonna go Kenneth Grant. Another guy I've heard a good amount about this week. Give me Kenneth Grant. Kenneth Grant or Donovan out of Boston College. Give me Kenneth Grant. Oh, how about Michael Williams? Michael Williams. No, Michael Williams. No. Michael Williams, you are Cincinnati Bengal. Number 18, the Seahawks. Give you some help. Center, guard, edge. Do I go edge back to back? Do I go Donovan or do I go Grant? Don't really see any top centers or guards here. It's just a lot of tackles. So I think they'll just go defense. And if I was them, probably just go, they have their corners. Devin Witherspoon, Reek Woolen. I think they go defense. I hate having like Starks and Barron still not drafted yet, best under ADPs. But I'm gonna go Kenneth Grant to the Seahawks. You can never have enough edge rush help, for sure. Number 19, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They need edge, linebacker, and defensive back. Okay, this is finally where we get them Jayden Barron out of Texas. Bang. Number 20, the Broncos defense is so good, but they need a running back so badly. I might have to give them a Marion Hampton out of UNC. Or do I give them a wide receiver like Luther Burden or Matthew Golden or Emeka Egbuka? This is honestly a tough place. They could use some offensive help alongside Bo Nix and Cortland Sutton. They could definitely, and they just signed Evan Ingram at tight end. I honestly really like the Broncos. They have a really good team. Just how far is Bo Nix going to take them? I think it's pretty good in his rookie season. A lot better than I thought, I'll be honest. I think I'm going to go running back here. Over Matthew Golden. Over Emeka. Over Luther Burden. I'm going to go I'm not going to go quarterback. I'm going to go running back here. Marion Hampton, dude, that running back room for the Broncos PU, that shit fucking stinks. Go running back. Steelers with the same troll every single year. They sneak into the playoffs and get absolutely annihilated. They just still have a quarterback, still Aaron Rodgers, still playing footsie with them, even though we know he's always going to sign there. Najee Harris is a Charger. The only running back is Jaylen Warren. Tackle and safety. I think this is probably why they go Malachi Starks. You are a Pittsburgh Steeler. All right, this one's interesting. So the Chargers last year, they got Ladd McConkey, who was obviously a home run hit. They still have Quentin Johnston, Mr. Torpedo Gloves. Like I mentioned earlier, I honestly like this connection of Colston and Loveland. They needed tight end. Their tight ends, this team was a lot better than I think we expected them to be last season. They got Najee Harris, Michigan and Michigan connection, Jim Harbaugh, Colston Loveland. You are I almost said San Diego Charger. You are a Los Angeles Charger. Packers. Who should they get with the 23rd overall pick? Albert. I know y'all could use another wide receiver. Or do you go defense? Interesting. CB? You think CB over wide receiver? Some really good wide receivers available. You said corner though. Okay, let me look at some corners. See if I heard about any of these guys. Like I said, I think Siobhan Rivell is coming off a season-ending injury last season, but I'm pretty sure he had pretty good potential. Maybe I heard a little bit about Trey Amos, and then outside of that, maybe a little bit about Darian Porter. But overall, the only guy I've really heard a lot about is probably just Siobhan Rivell. So, we got the 2016 that would like selling my ears. Yes, sir. I'm gonna go with Siobhan Rivell. Alexander's gone soon, yeah. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if this is last year, if he makes it to this year without being traded, to be honest. I mean, he's always injured and hasn't been at his peaks recently, so wouldn't be surprised at all. I'll take Siobhan Rivell for the Packers. 24th over pick the Vikings. I think it's officially JJ McCarthy season. They had a really phenomenal defense last season with Brian Flores. Really good offense. They have their needs being a running back. I mean, maybe this is the last year of Aaron Jones in Minnesota. Wide receiver wise, they're fine. They have Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Jalen Naylor. Tight end, they're fine with TJ Hawkinson. Maybe they go defense. I mean, they're perfectly fine right now on wide receivers. They're perfectly fine. I think they go defense. Defensive line or corner. Let's look at some defensive linemen. I haven't really heard so much about these guys. Cornerback. I don't know what they'll do here, to be honest. 24. Who knows? This is a tough one. This one's tough. Like, I honestly don't know who to go after for them. I don't think they'll go running back first round. Maybe like day 2. Definitely by day 3 for sure, though. I'm gonna go defensive line. I don't know, man. This is tough. So defensive line or corner, because we're looking at right now. Do we just go Walter Nolan? Get that out of the way or what? Sure, why not? Walter Nolan, you are a 49. Okay, this one's finally interesting one right here. The Texans need a wide receiver and they need offensive line help badly. Let's look at wide receiver and offensive line. Probably should have done this from the beginning. Looking at like team needs primarily, started looking at this. So they can go Josh Simmons, they can go Luther Burden, who's got some really good notoriety over the last like couple of weeks or so. Matthew Golden, I heard really good things about Matthew Golden. And then Emeka Egbuka, obviously fresh off the Ohio State ring, him and Josh Simmons with Ryan Day. I'm gonna go. I mean, right now they only have Nico Collins. Stephon Diggs is a Patriot. Tank Dell's out for the season. John Mechie, hopefully he can do something this season. Wide receiver, I'm gonna go Matthew Golden. You are a Houston Texan. Number 160, LA Rams. Tight end, they can use another one. They seem to have a lot of tight ends, but probably want to go younger, I guess, at the tight end position. They can use a tackle, linebacker, and corner. Is this where I finally give them Josh Simmons? I think so. Josh Simmons, I think you're gonna go to the Rams, buddy. Fuck it. Josh Simmons, LA Ram. Number 27, the Ravens. They need help defensively, like a lot of help. Their defense last year was generally god awful. Such a terrible defense last season. So they need help edge wise and corner wise. So let's look at edge wise and corner wise. All right, Ravens. Is this where I give them Shamar Stewart? I think so, huh? I heard about Shamar Stewart and Nick Scorton as well. Yeah, give them Shamar Stewart. Give them Shamar Stewart. Number 29, wide receiver alongside Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams. Edge wise, they could definitely use some edge help, especially since Aiden Hutchinson blew up his like what foot or leg last year. Is this where they go Donovan? Is this where they go Donovan or Nick Scorton? I don't know. I don't think they really need a wide receiver like that. They obviously still have the speedster Khalif Raymond. Linebacker. It's really a linebacker or edge. Linebacker edge. You supposed to drown. Did I give him Donovan? Let's get him some edge outs. Let's give him Donovan. I don't know how to pronounce that last name. I'm gonna try to say it. Donovan Ezeruaku. I know I butchered that, but I tried at least. 29. The Commanders definitely use a running back. They probably draft one on day 2. Guard, edge, and corner. They really didn't do too much with all that money in free agency. I'm honestly pretty disappointed in them, but I don't know why they don't have one of their needs being wide receiver. They need an additional wide receiver for sure. I mean, yeah, they got Debo. They got Terry McLaurin. They got Noah Brown re-signed. But they probably still need a speedster. And isn't that literally Luther Burden? I think so. Luther Burden. Commander. There we go. Buffalo Bills. They were in a Myles Garrett sweepstakes for a little bit. They ended up re-signing with the Cleveland Browns. Edge, linebacker, and corner. I kind of want to get them another wide receiver, but who knows? So let's look at edge, linebackers, and corners. Edge, linebackers, and corner. I'd get him Trey Amos. The person I probably heard about most here is probably Nick Scorton. So get him Nick Scorton. 31, the Chiefs. Guard, tackle, defensive line. Guard, tackle, and defensive line. Offensive lineman, interior offensive lineman. Special teams, you're hysterical. Defensive line. Slash really edge, really. Give me for the Chiefs. I want to give them a Josh Connell. They could definitely use another offensive lineman. They traded away their guard, Joe Tooney, who I believe was playing with some linemen as well. They re-signed, not re-signed, they gave a offer, not an offer, they gave a franchise tag to Trey Smith. They're gonna make a lot of money this offseason until they gave him that, so that's tough for him, but it is what it is. Derek Carmen, I've heard a good amount of, but give them another offensive lineman. Give them Derek Brown. I haven't really heard too much about Gray Zabel, to be honest, so I'm just gonna go to the guy I've heard most of, which is Josh Connolly. And last but not least, Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. Their need is a wide receiver where they have AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, aka Smitty. I don't know about all that, man. I don't know about all that. Guard, I mean, what's his name? Went to the Texans or something like that. Former New York Jet. Oh, no, he went to the Chargers. He went to the Chargers. What was his name again? Eagles guard, Mekhi Becton. That was his name, Mekhi Becton. That was his name, correct. Yep, Mekhi Becton. So they could use another guard. Edge and corner, Darius Slay is now out. James Bradbury is cut. They could go corner. For me personally, it's really between corner. I mean, they have so many edge guys. Like, come on. They have so many guys defensively as well. They just literally draft phenomenally well. Shout out to Javi Roseman. It's really between guard and corner, I would say here. Let's look at some interior offensive linemen. And let's look at corner. In terms of material, offensive lineman, I probably can get one in the second round. None of these are really mocked highly for the first. I really like Tyler Booker, who I haven't heard too much about him, to be quite frank. So I would say in the grand scheme of things, give me... Do I just go Tyler Booker here? Or do I go somebody like a Trey Amos? I guess I'll go Trey Amos, I guess. Why not? So overall, that is the mock right there. Grading my draft. What is my grade on here? Just my official first round mock. Okay, don't take this too seriously. Just for the last, outside of the lottery, I was just going based off strictly vibes and positional needs. I got Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, Will Campbell, Mason Graham, Genty, Warren, Jalen Walker, Shador, Mike Green, Mambu, McMillan, Kelvin Banks, Shahad Campbell, Will Johnson, James Pierce, Michael Williams, Kenneth Grant, Jahdae Barron, Marion Hampton to the Broncos, Malachi Starks to the Steelers, Colston Loveland to the Chargers, Siobhan Revelle to the Packers, Walter Nolan to the Vikings, Matthew Golden to the Texans, Josh Simmons to the Rams, Shamar Stewart to the Ravens, Donovan, I'm gonna butcher it again, Ezuraku, definitely butcher that, to the Lions, Luther Burden to the Commanders, Nick Scorton to the Bills, Josh Carnley Jr. to the Chiefs, and Trey Amos, last but not least, to the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. But that is it right there. Nice little troll mock draft. Again, don't take that too seriously once again. But yeah. But other than that, yo, that is the video. So go down below, drop a like, comment down below, sub up, make sure to follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok. It's your boy John. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video, and I'm out, man. Peace.